Hello, friends. We're late again. I've been out of town for a couple of days, but we're doing Sinoalice, and we're doing the brand new reality for Red Riding Hood banner, the Back Alley Reaper. So for those of you that have read the manga, you know that Red Riding Hood is not necessarily a very nice person. You will also know that it's brutal, because she's brutality. That's the joke. It's Spoot with Fort Misery Gaming. We're going to look at the weapons and then show you the nightmare that's with it. This banner has changed a little bit since the JP release, so again, surprise, don't count on it. Instead of the staff that had come out with it, we have a DC2 orb, which everybody is super excited for. We do know that there is a server merge occurring, which is something that I did. We'll probably end up doing a longer video or talking about this on State of Sino with Demek and Tachi and Bork and them, just because I think that's a bigger conversation. But we'll just do the banner for now. So first up, we've got Coastal Rain, regular sword, Icicle of Assault, physical attack 2. Total is 6,600, limit broken. So let's, you know what? I don't even like that shit. Alright, so it did it to me again. Every time I save the character, it takes it away from me because it knows what I'm looking for. So here is Red Riding Hood's alternate outfit. This is her design. It's actually pretty cool. I really like her hammer. We do get outfit changes eventually. She's got like little cat ears, wolf ears, dog ears maybe? Although she's got 2 sets of them, so that's kind of creepy. Got a big old tail. So this is going to be, the altars are the first set that just have stats. So at 14, which is very unique, eventually we will Arcana this one to have cost +2, so it just passively gives you a cost. So a lot of the altars that have this are very, very strong. You'll notice they go in odd, so it's 10, 30, 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150. This is true for all of them with the exception of, I believe, the Alice. Overall, it's about the same stats as a non-reality / alternative class. I think there's like a 20 or 30 point difference. I would have to do the exact math to total. But overall, she gets a decent amount of stats she needs. It seems like the middling part of it is magical attack and magical defense, which I'm not a big fan of since she's a crusher. But overall, for stats, it's pretty good. She got 400 HP on it. Hammer's 10% up, so it's regular stats. It's alright if you're chasing waifus and you're trying to lean into physical attack. Between this and the sword, she is not a bad pull. Let's look at the Mace of Violence, or the meaning of violence in JP. God, that's cool as shit. It's a big scissor. It's a skizzer. Level 80, it's 5,000 stats total, slightly below what we're used to with the 51, 5,200, but this is, like I said, 5k going forward is almost the standard. We are looking at deals great physical damage to 1 to 2 enemies, 1.5 effect to human enemies. That doesn't mean anything. So the Kalo one is 1.5 effect when at disadvantage, which means you have less combo. So you get a 1.5 times multiplier on the weapon when you are lower on combo, which is pretty good. Yeah. And then you have a chance to moderately reduce enemies' physical attack while attacking. So it's a tier 2 debuff. The debuff doesn't really matter. The multiplier is kind of wild. Like, I actually like that a lot. It's a weapon you're probably going to use for a while. Eventually, when we get our LB skills, you will have physical attack parameters increase, and this one is tied to, so on 1900. So at a max of 2400, eventually it'll get about 3000 with the limit break bonus, which is pretty good. I like this hammer a lot. If you're a physical attacker, this one is pretty worth grabbing, especially with that effect. It essentially means that if you are behind on combo and somebody ogres or defiant roars, you are trucking people, which is real good. We have the Coastal Rain, which I actually like the JP name a lot better. It's the Drizzle of Grudges. Big fan of that name. This one's actually decent. It's not a DC2 sword, but I like physical attack support better than some of the other ones. You deal great physical damage to one enemy, so it's a tier 3 attack, and then you have a tier 1 buff to your own physical attack attached to it. So essentially you're getting like a 1.2 buff when it procs, so it's not awful. The 5100 stats are fine, 1800 physical attack. I actually like the sword. If you're a physical attacker, a physical vanguard, this is actually a pretty good banner. If you're anything else, including clerics who are looking forward to this banner, because there was a very, very good staff on here that had healing support too on it. They took it off of it for some reason, so people are a little bitter, and I can understand that because that was a really good change, and you'll see why I'm a little upset when I move on to the next weapon. We get this piece of shit. I don't like, oh yeah, it goes to LL. That's really cool, right? No, it's not cool. Like, I guess if you need like flat stats somewhere, like 1800 magical attack and 1400 physical attack are fine, but I don't know. I don't like the idea that this is what we got instead of the staff, because clerics have been kind of having a wonky time recently, and that would have been a good pull. I don't know. It is what it is. It's cute. I like the design of it, but I don't really care for like, orbs don't do anything. Like, eventually we'll have some support for them, but nobody's going to be maining mages until that point, so I wouldn't expect it for another 6 to 8 months, if not a year, unless they suddenly jump us on it, so not a big fan of that. We also have Mount Archelon. Look at this. He's a big old turtle boy. He's a big old turtle boy. I like him. This is Defiant Roar 3 at 0 SP. So some of you may be saying, but we already have Ogre. You are correct. You do already have Ogre. And rightly so. You are fine. I don't think there's a reason to worry about it. If you pull him, like if you're a physical attacker and you're pulling on this banner, I think it's fine. And if you get him, all the better. If your team does not have either Ogre or this one, I would maybe have somebody pity it. I don't necessarily look at this one and go, you know, this is something I absolutely have to have. Because 3 right now is the highest in the game, and you can get it off Barbarian, Ogre. Eventually gets it. There's another Ogre that gets it, I guess. Tears of Color. Oh, is he the green Ogre? Oh, they're both green. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just a different look. The stats on it are pretty good. It's 5,000 total, so it's 1,000 across the board, and you get the extra 500 on physical attack and defense. So it's better for, you know, Vanguard, better for Crusher Breaker. It's okay. The actual passive skill is pretty good for raids, so it's got restore 45% of max HP for all surviving allies. So it's got a little bit of a dual use. It's not the worst nightmare to have, but I don't know if I would tell people to chase this one. So that's it for the Should You pull. It's a little late. Fort and I were both out of town for the last couple of days, so it's been kind of crazy. Tell us how you're doing. Are you excited for the reality banner? I do have, probably tomorrow, I will have a little bit of a digest coming out to go over the shop and everything that's associated with it. So we'll get into it later, but you guys enjoy.